Imagine a time of great turmoil, friends. The year is around 1000 BC. King David, a man after God's own heart, leads Israel. But things are far from peaceful. Our scripture today is Psalm 60, a powerful song born out of deep struggle. Israel, God's chosen people, face wars on multiple fronts. Enemies surround them, threatening their very existence. Defeat hangs heavy in the air. David, though a mighty warrior, finds himself at a loss. His heart is heavy with the weight of his nation's suffering. He feels the sting of defeat, the pain of loss. It's as if God himself has turned away, leaving them to fend for themselves. This feeling of abandonment cuts deep, leaving David and his people wounded and afraid. Imagine yourself in their shoes, friends. The ground beneath you trembles with uncertainty. The future seems bleak and hopeless. It's in these darkest of times that we discover the true strength of our faith. And that's exactly what David does. He turns to the one true source of hope, God. Psalm 60 is a raw, honest cry for help. David doesn't sugarcoat his feelings. He pours out his heart to God, holding back nothing. He acknowledges the defeats, the pain, the feeling of being forsaken. He cries out, "You have rejected us, O God," and burst forth upon us. "You have made the land to shake, you have split it open." That's from Psalm 60 verses 1 and 2. But David doesn't stop there. His prayer is not one of despair, but of desperate dependence. He reminds God of his promises, of his past faithfulness. "You have shown your people hard things. You have made us drink the wine of confusion," he says. That's verse 3. But even in the midst of hardship, he clings to the hope of God's love. David's prayer is a powerful reminder that it's okay to cry out to God, to bring our pain and frustrations to him. He's big enough to handle it all. And most importantly, he wants to hear from us, especially when we're hurting. David teaches us that true prayer is honest, vulnerable, and full of faith, even when doubt creeps in. Despite the bleakness of the situation, a glimmer of hope shines through David's words. He remembers God's power, he remembers his promises, and he chooses to trust, even when he doesn't understand. "But for those who fear you, you have set up a banner to be displayed because of truth," David proclaims in Psalm 60, verse 4. This is not blind faith, friends. It's a faith forged in the fires of adversity. David knows God is faithful, even when it doesn't feel like it. He knows that God is working behind the scenes, even when his ways are hidden from sight, and that knowledge gives him the strength to keep going. Think about the challenges you face in your own life, friends. Maybe you're going through a difficult season, facing setbacks and disappointments. You might even feel like God is distant, that he's forgotten about you. But remember David's example. He clung to faith, even when everything around him seemed to be falling apart. The heart of Psalm 60 lies in verses 6 through 8. Here David shifts from lament to a powerful declaration of faith. He prophesies victory, not based on human strength, but on God's unwavering power. God has spoken in his holiness. "I will rejoice. I will divide Shechem and measure out the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine. Ephraim also is the helmet for my head. Judah is my lawgiver," he declares. These verses are a powerful reminder that God is in control. He has a plan, and his plans always prevail. Even when we don't see it, he is working behind the scenes to bring about his purposes. And, his ultimate purpose is always good. The victory David speaks of is not just a physical one. It's a spiritual victory, a triumph of faith over fear, of hope over despair. And this victory is available to all who put their trust in God. Friends, Psalm 60 is more than just an ancient prayer. It's a timeless message of hope and encouragement for us today. It reminds us that even in the midst of our darkest hours, God is with us. He hasn't abandoned us. He sees our pain, he hears our cries, and he longs to bring us comfort and deliverance. When you face your own battles, remember David's example. Don't be afraid to pour out your heart to God. Be honest with him about your fears, your doubts, and your pain. But also, remember his faithfulness, remember his promises, and choose to trust him, even when you don't understand. The God who brought victory to David is the same God who fights for you today. He is your banner of victory, your source of strength, and your ever-present help in times of trouble. So hold on to hope, friends. Keep the faith. And never forget that you are loved, you are cherished, and you are never alone. In God's loving embrace, you will find the strength to overcome any obstacle. Let Psalm 60 be your guide and your source of